Crazy.
So yeah,
That's a good counter argument. Yo, like if someone's defending their food they like, yo, look up how it's made.
That's it. That's really all you have to do.
Yeah.
And I get hit by these nutritionists, dietitians, and they're like, you're completely wrong about what you're saying. How? Common sense. When you start looking behind the curtain and seeing how it's made, you wouldn't want to touch it.
All right, guys, Wasim Syed here today. We're going to talk health, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate you.
Absolutely, man. It's a big movement going on right now. So
It's getting bigger.
yeah, it seems like it every day and more people are joining. And now with RFK, the forefront of it, it's exciting times.
We're in the best times right now.
Yeah. What got you started in this movement?
To be honest, 7 years ago, I decided to change my life, just become a better person. And then when I did that, I started finding the right teachers on YouTube. And it just resonated with me, finding people like Dr. Eric Berg, Thomas DeLauer, Bobby from Flav City. And then when I started learning more about diets and that, I started on a ketogenic diet.
Yeah.
So I eliminated all processed foods. I went to a high-fat, low-carb diet, felt amazing for the first time in my life, developed awareness. And then from there, I started doing intermittent fasting and prolonged fasting to regenerate the body, because that's what happens when you fast. And after some time with that, I started reading ingredients. I started learning what was in my foods. And the best person I learned that from was Bobby from Flav City, because he has multiple videos where he teaches you what to buy at the grocery store just by reading the back, which no one even thinks about doing. And then from there, I got introduced to a carnivore-based diet through Paul Saladino, tried that, and then gradually moved to an animal-based diet.
Nice.
So that's what happened in the past 7 years.
I love that, dude. Yeah, I used to go to the grocery store as a kid and not even look at the nutrition facts.
Honestly, most people don't.
But now I don't buy anything without looking first. You know, I'm looking for seed oils. I'm looking for stuff I can't pronounce. And that's like 80% of the grocery store, too.
I would say 95. Maybe.
95?
It's so crazy.
Damn.
Like, even the things that say organic, you really have to read, not the front, just read the back. Because
Really?
they could even say it has organic soybean oil inside, and you still don't want to put that in your body.
Wow.
Yeah.
So just the organic label is not enough.
No.
That's interesting. 'Cause some people think it is.
Organic means that they're not using synthetic pesticides or spraying anything on the crops necessarily. So, yeah, that may be the case, but what else is in there, or what are they exactly? Because sometimes it'll say 80% organic, and there'll be some other ingredients in there that are not.
Wow.
Or they'll have natural flavors or artificial flavors. It's crazy.
Tricky. Yeah, there's a lot of deception, right, with the marketing.
All trickery.
Yeah, because even like all natural, for example, like what does that exactly mean? You know?
It's on everything.
Yeah.
It'll literally say all natural. Like Skippy's Skippy's is processed peanut butter, and they'll say all natural on it. But when you read the back, they're not using all natural ingredients. All natural you would think would come originally from nature. So, yeah, that tends to be flawed as well.
Yeah. It's subjective, I guess, with the labels.
Absolutely.
Like some say like low sugar, low fat, or sugar free even.
You know, it's crazy when you see sugar free, but it's still sweet. You got to ask yourself, why is it sweet? And then you read the back and you see there's sucralose or acesulfame potassium, and you go on Google, just do a quick Google search and see what that is. Artificial sweeteners.
Right.
So it's like, oh, you're taking the sugar out, but you're putting artificial sweeteners in that can come from chlorine, that can come from, it's absolutely crazy.
Disgusting. Do you think there's any place for artificial sweeteners? Do you think they should be banned?
Personally, if it's artificial, it's man-made, it's coming from a laboratory, there's a lot of reports saying that, oh, it can be good in low consumptions, but if you don't need to use that, just eliminate it, because you can always find an alternative like raw organic honey, organic maple syrup, like pure maple syrup as well. Excellent sweeteners that come from nature. So you can still get your sweetness, but just you don't need those artificial sweeteners.
Yeah. Yeah. The honey aisle and syrup aisle, a lot of them add sugar to their products. It's crazy.
Some have caramel color in it, which is artificial color. But you see how the trickery, caramel, people will think, oh, this is caramel based or something, or has caramel, whatever caramel's made of. But no, it's an artificial color.
Crazy. Yeah, anything with coloring, I immediately am like, okay, that does not look natural. What's in there?
It's petroleum based.
Disgusting.
It's wild. Like, especially when you read the side effects, when one of the side effects, I kid you not, is the desire to be annoying.
What?
Yeah, that's one of, like, I read that, I believe, on WebMD or something like that, and
And they're giving that to kids in their cereal, Lucky Charms and Tricks and stuff.
Fruit Loops.
Fruit Loop. All right, shout out to today's sponsor, Specialized Recruiting Group. Navigating the professional job search is hard. You know the perfect job is out there. You're just not sure how to find it. The good news is you don't have to go at it alone. You just need Specialized Recruiting Group. Connect at srgpros.com. We're here to guide you and help you find a role that fits, all without costing a dime. Meet Specialized Recruiting Group, offering a tailored approach to find your next role. Go to srgpros.com and get on the right course. Your local Specialized Recruiting Group team knows which businesses are hiring and can offer you a path to contract and full-time roles. Don't see the role you're looking for on the website? Well, they also recruit for confidential roles, so give an office near you a call to learn more. Take the next step in your career by starting srgpros.com.
Oops is all over.
And
right
you wonder
now.
why kids are jumping off the wall and they're annoying.
I was one of those children, so
Same.
that's relatable.
Yeah, 100%. My dad had to shut me up a few times, you know? And it was definitely like, yeah, I was eating cereal every morning
It's
with high sugar, Reese's Puffs, whatever, Cocoa Pebbles. And that's how I started my day.
You know, it's crazy because you start with just lowering like checking the sugars. What about the corn they're using? It's GMO corn usually. What about the other ingredients? When you see the vitamins, those are synthetic vitamins that come from petroleum. So the vitamins don't even benefit you when it shows you on the back of Fruit Loops that it has vitamin B2 or vitamin C or any.
Wow.
All synthetic based, which is crazy.
So they're making vitamins.
Yeah, because if you bleach the flour used or you bleach like the corn or anything like that, it doesn't have any nutrients in it. So they have to add it in. That's why when you read the ingredients on the back, you'll start seeing like vitamin B6, vitamin B12, and it's always the synthetic versions when you look it up.
Because it's cheaper, right? Way cheaper.
And they got to like fill it up with something, you know?
Damn. So I wonder if there's any cereal brands adding natural vitamins.
It's actually, well, I think if you find one with real ingredients inside that are using foods from nature, those will already have nutrients in it or real vitamins or real minerals.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. But
That makes sense. But yeah, grains in general are just scary. I cut most of them out from the US.
I just wouldn't trust it in the U.S. because when you start looking up how things are made in the United States, how many regulations are they just cross past them and they don't even care.
Yeah.
Start looking up how your foods are actually made. That's the best way to, when someone argues with me on this, I just tell them, go look how it's made. Go research that. And then you decide yourself. When you start looking at the laboratory, you start seeing, like for example, when you see canola oil, there's a famous YouTube video that's 5 minutes. Shows you how it's made. And it starts off by saying it's one of the healthiest oils, but then 3 minutes in, it's like now we have to bleach it and deodorize it because of the rancidity. It's like, what?
Crazy.
So yeah,
That's a good counter argument. Yo, like if someone's defending their food, they like, yo, look up how it's made.
That's it. That's really all you have to do.
Yeah.
And I get hit by these nutritionists, dietitians, and they're like, you're completely wrong about what you're saying. I'm like, how? Common sense. When you start looking behind the curtain and seeing how it's made, you wouldn't want to touch it.
Yeah, and you got to start being open-minded and questioning things you ate growing up. I think people get too emotionally attached to like they grew up eating this and they're fine. But look how it's made these days. It's a lot different than when you were growing up.
It's crazy how people just want to turn a blind eye and not want to open their mind to the idea that your food might be causing a lot of the issues you're having.
Well, I think there's some guilt because they're giving the food to their families, their friends, or whatever for years, and they're like, "Wait, this is bad. Like, I don't want to take accountability for that."
Especially when you were talking about grains before, and they're talking about, oh, this has healthy grains, whole grains inside, but how are the grains made? What kind of grains are they using? Are they using GMO wheat? Are they genetically modifying everything? There's so many questions to ask.
Yeah.
You know? And then you find out grains actually, most humans can't even digest grains unless you're getting ancient grains and really special grains that come from the earth. Most of the ones we have today are like heavily processed.
Right. Yeah, I have that gene break. I think 50% of people have it, right? The MTHFR one.
I think it's actually higher, but
Oh, wow.
you could be right. So
Something high, but either way, like people don't even know that.
why eat grains when you can eat other foods that make you feel better?
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I feel way worse when I eat grains.
Most
Like,
people,
literally.
most people do, and the ones who are in denial of it, what's crazy is like gluten can have a very weird effect on your gut where it can damage your gut without your body knowing.
Whoa.
That's why it has a morphine effect, which is so crazy when you look into it. So it can actually cause leaky gut without you knowing that you have leaky gut until you finally feel so bad that you're going to have to go get it checked and then
Damn.
find out.
Damn. Sounds villainous.
That's crazy. It's leaky gut is like holes basically in your gut, so everything starts going through it into the blood, and you don't want that.
So that just raises your glucose levels and everything then.
It's like way more than that. Your insulin goes up, glucose goes up. It's just too much going on when you're eating these heavily processed grains.
And there's a lot of new studies on the sugar spikes, how it pretty much causes aging.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You're making the body work so much to get rid of this stuff that your body just doesn't know what to do. And because it's requiring more energy, it makes sense that you're aging.
Yeah. So that's my biggest qualm with Alex Hormozy. Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
He has this thing about like never skip dessert. You ever heard of this?
No.
Yeah, so he's like, never skip dessert, and he posts a photo of all these unhealthy desserts, and it's like, dude, that's like causing aging in people.
But people, when they see the muscles and they see the success, they automatically assume that that is very good advice. And I just ask people to think a little bit more that is it necessarily a good thing that they're eating these specific foods? When you start researching what's really in them, do you really want to put this in your body?
Yeah, look at who you're getting the advice from, right? For business advice, I'm listening to him all day.
Oh, absolutely.
For health advice, his testosterone level was 86. Yeah, he has a whole video about, or it was like low 200, something really low. And he had a big health. I'm not going to him for health advice.
That's crazy because like you could just eat specific foods that will naturally build your testosterone pretty high, which is what we should have, because when you start looking up what lowers testosterone, microplastics, so it's not even food. That's what Tupperware and like your microwave water bottles is such a big one. Right now you're drinking glass, which is amazing, and I encourage everyone to drink glass water when you can.
I get the 5-gallon delivered to my house.
Me too.
Yeah.
But people are drinking these plastic water. When you keep it in the back of your car for too long and it's too hot, and then you drink it, you can taste the plastic.
100%.
And you're just like,
tastes disgusting.
It tastes disgusting, but you don't think for a second that plastic could really destroy your insides, because then you start learning that microplastics actually go into men's testicles, and that's why testosterone levels keep plummeting.
Right. They're finding it in 100% of testicles. Now they're finding it in autopsies in the brain. 0.5% of the brain is microplastic now.
That is insane.
Which is crazy, and it's only rising.
Mm-hmm.
So it's getting in every organ. I had a heart surgeon on. He said he could see it in some hearts he operated on, the plastic.
That is
disgusting,
really scary.
Right? Yeah, it's super scary because it's not leaving the body.
Damn.
There's new technology, which I'm excited about, that kind of filters your blood. I forget what it's called, but I mean, we got to work on it in the meantime.
Yeah, I think if people start learning the root of their problem and how to avoid what already is not working, the standard elimination of certain things like plastics and seed oils and stuff like that, you'll start to feel better and better and better. And what I tell people is when you start eliminating these bad foods and you start putting nutrient-rich foods in your body, your brain will heal itself. Your body knows how to heal. You won't need a nutritionist by that point, or maybe you do. But I feel like because your body starts to work better, your brain starts to work, your organs work better when you start eating well and eliminating processed foods, you can figure everything out on your own afterwards.
Yeah.
I really believe that.
I agree. Once I fixed my deficiencies, because I took a blood test, was low in vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, iron, magnesium, all the important ones, fixed that, felt amazing. I haven't been sick since the blood test.
Well, there you go.
I used to get sick once a month in my early 20s too.
I also realized that most people, when they get their nutritionists or their whoever they're working with, it's usually like for many years or a long period of time. Why? Why do you have to keep going back over and over and over again? You're not really finding the root problem.
Right.
But when you find that root problem, and I know this because I've worked with so many people and I've done it on myself, you feel so good that you can solve your own problems. You can handle your stress. You learn how to be a human being again.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you had some major health issues before though, 7 years ago?
No, surprisingly not really. I just wanted to make better decisions as a human. Like 7 years ago, I was in corporate America. I was really engaged with that lifestyle of talking about people or being negative and pessimistic.
Yeah.
But I stopped doing that. I just decided, you know what, let's start being a good person and see what happens. So
I was super pessimistic too.
Yeah, and it
up.
changes your life because when you're pessimistic, your lens is pessimistic. So you see everything in a negative way, which is such a terrible way to look at life, because when you start learning that you can see everything in a positive way, as mumbo jumbo as that sounds, and you start looking at positivity, your lens starts to change and you start looking at the good things in everything in life.
Yeah.
And I believe that helps when you're eating good food, real food. Real nutrient-rich foods allow your body to, as the human being, you should be able to be 100% optimized or even more. You have a lot of abilities that most people are not aware of. But once you fix these problems, you start to feel better, start to look better, you start anti-aging or even aging and evolving in such a beautiful way, you know? So
Agreed. Everyone I know that eats organic and whole foods, they're super positive people. Like they're not negative at all.
and you know what's crazy? When you smile and you feel oxytocin, or you hold a dog, or you feel love, you're raising oxytocin levels in your body. So your body starts pumping out these happy hormones, these love hormones, which are insane antioxidants. They heal your body.
Wow.
So it's insane when you start looking into this stuff, you know?
Dude, that's so insane. Because I had terrible mental health and I got a dog and it went away.
Right? Because you can have the worst day in the world. Your dog is so happy to see you. And then that love that dog gives you, you know it heals you. You know
Right.
you just feel better instantly.
Yeah, anyone watching this that's dealing with depression or anxiety, I would recommend maybe if you can't get one, maybe go to like a shelter and play with them or something, you know?
Oh, you should. And I believe it's one of the... And another thing, dogs have the capability of loving you so much. I believe humans have that capability as well. And the more you live a great life, the more you take care of your body, the more you take care of your brain, heart, mind, everything, you start to emit so much... Emitting positive energy is basically having a love frequency.
Right.
Being like happy and grateful and appreciative of life. Like thank you, for example, thank you for having me on this. This means the world to me.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely it does, because that gratitude is... It's such a blessing, like, and an honor. So it means the world. So thank you.
Likewise, dude. Thanks for coming on. I think this will inspire a lot of people. And gratitude, I do that every morning. I got a journal. It's been a game changer for me.
You ever notice before you did the gratitude, you would, and when you were pessimistic, you would think of all the things that you negatively did not like about your day.
100%.
And how you handle your mornings is how you handle the rest of your day. So if you start in that negative frame, you're most likely going to have it throughout the day.
And there's no growth. When I was
No.
pessimistic, I had no financial success, no health success. It was just a low point.
Yeah. And it's to keep you in that. And these processed foods, I believe, are meant to keep you in such a low state of negativity, pessimism, because some of the side effects of looking up these ultra processed foods, they're not positive side effects. They're very negative.
Yeah.
So I would understand why people are negative, why they feel like crap.
100%. Yeah, it's definitely the diet. Because you were probably eating way worse when you were negative.
Absolutely. It was mostly, well, growing up, I ate a lot of Pop-Tarts, Fruit Loops, skim milk, no protein, no animal-rich foods.
Oh, you were vegan?
Not necessarily. It was more of like an Islamic background.
Okay.
So a lot of foods were limited and restricted. But the foods that were ultra-processed were allowed, which really...
That's weird.
It's very odd.
That's like backwards thinking, right?
Very backwards. And what's crazy is like Pop-Tarts and cereals, I forgot to mention that when you read the back, now hidden on the very bottom, you'll see contains bioengineered food ingredients.
What?
They put that now in, it's on Fruit Loops, it's on Pop-Tarts, it's on basically everything from General Mills and these big corporations. So you'll see it. It'll say contains a bioengineered food ingredient or contains bioengineered food ingredients, plural. And they do that. What does it mean? It's a fancy term for GMO.
Wow.
Because it's all wordology, right? It's all just trickery of words, making things sound better than they really are.
That's nasty.
Yeah, because if someone sees contains GMO products, no one's going to want to eat that.
Yeah. How
So-
common is the GMO stuff?
I mean, in this country, it's very, very, very common,
Wow.
especially when you see the seed oils that is in basically everything. Even when you see corn starch, most people don't even think for a second, where's that corn starch coming from? It's coming from GMO corn. Like you
Jeez.
just have to research. Modified corn starch, that's a big food. Modified food starch, the keyword is modified. So they're taking a starch and they're modifying it. How do they modify it? Well, you start looking it up. You see, oh, there's some weird synthetic processes that they're doing.
Wow.
So it's literally like, it's more than just looking for the term GMO. It's now looking up the ingredients. What exactly is in these hidden ingredients that you don't really know?
Yeah, it's such a shame because Thanksgiving just passed and it should be a holiday to like connect with family and, you know, have a good time. And people are just eating this stuff with like cornbread, stuffing, and it's all this GMO stuff.
Yeah, I
They're
went.
just poisoning themselves.
I went with my family to one just recently, and a lot of the people, which is, it's ironic, a lot of the people follow my channel, which is cool, but they had the Kraft barbecue sauce right there. They had the not the colas, not the Coca-Cola, but the bootleg ones.
The bootleg ones.
You know, it just says cola on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you read those high fructose corn syrup,
Yeah.
you see all this, and it's just like, and it all have a medical background, which is ironic.
Dude, I know a couple of doctors. They are some of the most unhealthiest people I've ever met.
It is the weirdest thing.
So weird. He just put like frosted flakes on his ice cream bar and like white chocolate. I'm like, dude, you're a doctor. You should be like inspiring the next generation to be healthy.
It's very weird. One of my friends, he had surgery, and right after the surgery, they came in with like this chocolate. They're like, here, this will make you feel better. And literally the first ingredient was high fructose corn syrup, followed by corn syrup.
Oh my God.
So just GMO, and it said contains bioengineered food ingredients.
Yeah. And I've heard from multiple people that work in hospitals, there's no healthy food in the hospital.
No.
So when they go feed you, it's like shit food that's processed.
Jello is so popular in
And
hospitals.
they have soda vending machines in all of them.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's vending machines in hospitals.
Yeah.
There was a McDonald's that was in the hospital that my brother was born in.
What?
I was having McDonald's when he was born.
No way.
Crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's not right, dude. Because and I saw recently the IRS just said food is not medicine or something.
Food is medicine.
Yeah, so they
Food
said
is-
it's not, so you can't write it off. You know what I mean?
It's just so crazy.
But it is medicine.
Yeah.
Like there's people that have like C word is kind of controversial on YouTube, but have healed their diseases through just food.
I believe you can heal your body with the foods because you are what you eat. And think about it. Just common sense wise, what you're putting in here affects how this works.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's so many stories, man. I've heard like stage 4, like the worst diseases, just changing the diet or eliminating certain things.
What I also don't like is that people will trust a specialist or an expert when they're not in shape or they're not healthy. A lot of them are very unhealthy, which
Right.
doesn't make any sense to me. If you want to go to someone who is successful and learn about success, you go to a successful person. If you want to learn about health, go to a person that looks healthy,
100%.
Makes
Yeah,
a
a
lot of
lot of
sense.
these doctors, it's backwards, man. A lot of them are brainwashed, unfortunately. It's not even their
It's not their
fault.
fault. It's the whole system that they were taught because if you look up how much they learn about nutrition, it's very little.
Yeah, and I've talked to them because I have on both sides on the podcast, and they'll say what we're talking about right now is like conspiracy theories. Like there's no evidence. It's crazy the way they think.
It's very crazy to think that the foods you're eating cannot affect you in such a negative way or have these terrible side effects. That's insane.
yeah,
Absolute
I
insanity.
feel for them, but I don't know if the education system will change, honestly.
More exposure and more awareness will force the change, in my opinion, because I believe that there is I believe more people are waking up. It's taking time, but the best way to wake people up, I believe, is starting with the food. The
Yeah.
food is the best way for people to start using their brain properly and to allow yourself to think for yourself or solve problems,
There's different quality to meat, right? Like grass-fed and organic.
But even when you see grass-fed, does that mean it's 100% grass-fed? Because grass-fed means that the cow was fed grass at one point in its life. That's why you have to look for terms like 100% grass-fed. That means, it ate grass 100% of its life. But then you can go even a step further, which most people don't know is called regenerative agriculture, which is where the minerals are rich in soil as well. And they're in the pastures. They're doing what cows are doing what they're supposed to do, and the animals are feeding on what they're supposed to feed. That's why the regenerative is the most important because that's the soil and the minerals are just as important versus feeding a cow grass that could come from bad soils.
Right.
So you have to know where you're getting your source from.
Interesting. I haven't heard of that term. Is that a newer term? Regenerative agriculture?
Yeah, and then it's not really new, but it's starting to have a little bit more awareness now.
Is
So-
that at the grocery stores at all, or you need to buy it
You can find
online?
it at Whole Foods and
Oh, really?
Sprouts. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a company called Force of Nature that makes regenerative meats, but you can also find it online.
Okay.
So,
That's exciting. I wonder if my local farmer's market has that too.
yeah. Meat is very good, but you got to get the best quality. Even with chicken, most people don't know, like when you're getting organic chickens are still feeding on organic grains. That's not really what they're supposed to eat. They should be eating bugs, worms. They should be on pastures. That's why you got to read pasture raised chicken. But then you also got to read, is it coming from regenerative soil?
Right.
All that matters.
My favorite egg company just got exposed. Final Farms.
I've heard controversy over both sides, and they actually have a video on Instagram where they show you their practices.
Okay.
So it actually was very relieving to see that because I've also recommended, because they have so many different types of eggs. They got pasture raised, organic pasture raised,
Yeah.
regenerative, so mineral rich soil. They also have blue heirloom eggs, which are like the OG chickens, not like the cross hybrids.
Oh,
And so-
really?
yeah, so they have so many different
Wow.
types. So people really got to educate themselves before they jump on these.
Okay.
Because
I got to see their side of the video because the one I saw was concerning.
yeah, so just watch it on their. They have it on their Instagram.
That's
It's-
cool that they're hands-on like that because a lot of companies would not respond to that.
Yeah, there's a lot of health good companies. There's a lot of negative publicity about them. There's some saying that some of them have high levels of lead, or
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard about those. Like
That's the one I'm
lead.
talking about, I think.
But the thing is, when you start looking at those lead, where things are very high in lead, you should avoid it. A lot of soil has natural occurring lead in it.
Yeah,
But
so
so
it's
they'll
not
tell
even-
they'll tell you like avoid an avocado because too high in lead. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah. So I think people have to focus on the right things, which is let's just focus on what you're putting in your body, eliminating the bad stuff, and just feel good and think for yourself.
Right. Another concern people have is these healthy brands start up, they get to a certain size and they get acquired, like Siete Foods,
Siete Foods.
and then they remove all the healthy ingredients.
What's really cool is Primal Kitchen was bought as well.
Yeah.
But they didn't change their ingredients. If anything, they got into more stores. So it was actually more of a positive
Oh,
thing.
wow.
Yeah. And Siete, I actually did a video on that PepsiCo bought
Yeah.
Siete, and there's a lot of negativity about it. However, if you actually read the details behind it, they're not going to change their ingredients. If anything, Siete is going to now be in more stores, and it's going to allow more people to consume these better quality
that's
ingredients.
exciting.
Yeah,
Because
so
I bought like 8 bags
Siete's
when
the
I saw
best.
that get acquired.
Siete is one of the best companies in the world.
Yeah, I was stacking up.
Yeah, great ingredients.
They're non-GMO, right?
No, they're very, very clean company.
Yeah.
And I met them a couple times at the expos. Really nice people, really good-hearted people. Everyone who works there is happy, positive.
Nice.
That's another good sign too. When who works there loves what they do.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. The very few chips you could buy. When I go in that chip aisle at Whole Foods, man, basically Siete and a few others.
Siete, I think there's Boulder Canyon, which is good, but they have flavored ones which have natural flavors, which I don't
Ooh.
like. But Siete, their flavoring is real flavor. Like they're using
Right.
nutritional yeast and cayenne pepper and stuff like
Dude,
that.
their spicy one is bomb. Have you tried that one?
Everything
Oh
is
my
so good by
gosh.
Siete. They have salsas that are delicious. Those
Oh,
are
I
made
gotta
with
try
olive oil.
that.
Very good. Their tortilla chips are excellent, made with cassava. They have taco shells, very clean. They have
love
taco seasoning, very clean. They're a very good company.
Yeah.
Primal Kitchen too. They were bought, but I don't know if they were bought by Heinz, but their ingredients are still very clean, and you can find them anywhere.
I use their ketchup.
The ketchup's good.
Big change from Heinz, man. I grew up on Heinz. I think everyone did.
Everyone grew up on it. I have so many videos on Heinz, but it's just like, why do you have natural flavors inside? Why do you have high fructose corn syrup? Why do you have corn syrup?
Dude, I used to eat those packs, like just straight out the pack from Burger King.
I think everyone is guilty. Fast food too. You
Oh,
just said Burger King. Like you look at what's in those ingredients, especially McDonald's. I've done a lot of videos exposing McDonald's, but French fries having 19 ingredients in the United States. The pickles have, I think, 9 ingredients inside. The pickles.
What?
The pickles.
Wow.
It's so crazy when you look into what's in these foods. The fact that you can blowtorch. No, what is it? You can leave McDonald's out for months or
Oh,
years.
I saw that.
Yeah, and it doesn't go bad.
Some guy had it for like a year and he took a photo of it. It looked the same.
I always say it's a chemical experiment dressed up as food, disguised as food.
Yeah.
Those are not things you want to put in your body, especially
No.
because you're taking the fries. They're coming from very low quality potatoes that they have to like off gas. They have to spray stuff on it. And then you're putting it in fried seed oils. Like seed oils are just industrial lubricant oils. They're not meant for human consumption. Just like I said, go look up how it's made
Yeah.
and you'll learn everything. But yeah, you're frying it in those oils over and over and over again. And you're wondering why people are getting sicker and sicker. It's
Yep.
crazy.
There needs to be some change there for sure. Is there any fast food brands you eat?
That's a good question. So, fast food wise, no. There are health influencers who will be like, if you're at McDonald's, you could get the ground beef the beef patties,
Yeah.
and make it a keto option. But when you start realizing the cheese is ultra processed, it's not even real cheese they're using. I just tell people avoid it altogether. The 2 best places I would recommend. There's a restaurant called True Food Kitchen. Have you heard of that?
I've heard of them, I think.
Seed oil free, very clean ingredients. There's grass-fed meats, sourdough pizzas, organic ingredients, very clean. They're all over the United States.
Yeah, I think they're in Vegas actually.
Yeah. True Food Kitchen. Another one is Sweet Green.
I've heard of
Sweet
them,
Green?
yeah.
They're kind of like Chipotle style, but Basically, they use organic ingredients and they use 100% grass-fed steaks, which are very good. The chicken and salmon are a little questionable. I don't think they're the highest quality, but their beef is extremely high quality. So those are the two places I'll always eat.
I have trouble giving up In-N-Out, dude. It's so good.
I may have to do a video on that. So
it's not good for you?
No.
What's in it?
That one I have not researched yet, but I know that the ingredients list is over. There's 50 or 60 ingredients in the burger or something like that. Yeah. So,
oh my God.
And Chick-fil-A too, right? They say that they're the healthier version because they eat chicken all the time. That is GMO chicken. That is
they changed their chicken last year. Remember?
They said they did, but I think they're actually changing it back to the original one, which is with antibiotics inside. So it's actually worse.
Jeez.
I think Vani from the Food Babe exposed that.
Oh wow! I used to love Chick-fil-A too.
Yeah,
I had to cut Chipotle out because of the seed oils. I used to eat that daily in high school.
They use rice bran oil, I believe, and then rice bran oil is the main oil they use. That's basically a seed oil. And the other one I think they use on their meat is canola oil or sunflower. I could be wrong.
Which is like the worst one.
They're all bad. Yeah. Like just seed oils in general.
Dude, it's mind blowing because I go to like nice ass restaurants, right? Like 5-star restaurants in Vegas. I ask what they use, and it's always seed oils.
Always.
It's
literally, and I believe when you go to a restaurant, you should, before you go, you should call the place and ask, what are you cooking your oils in? I'm allergic. And they will tell you.
These days they know because they're getting asked so much that they know right away.
And I'm so happy that people are becoming aware of seed oils because I believe that's the number one worst issue. I think it's worse than sugar. At least sugar you can burn off in your body. Seed oils are just so ultra processed and so heavily refined and bleached and deodorized. That should just not go in your body altogether.
Yeah,
but it's in everything.
Sugar used to be the number one enemy.
Well, they say that it is, but realistically, they don't want to tell you that seed oil is the enemy. They're not going to tell you that.
Yeah, it's a game people are playing for sure. There's a billboard in Vegas that says we hate seed oils.
Yes, and I think, what's that?
Something Cantina, Mexican restaurant.
Oh, it's the Mexican restaurant? I thought it was the steakhouse.
Oh, it might be a steakhouse too. Either way, it's good to see the movement.
Yeah.
Because 5 years ago, no one even knew what this was.
No, but the cool thing is after that, there are good oils you can use to cook your food. You can actually use butter because it comes from the earth. That you can use, but we were told that butter is very bad for you.
I remember that.
Yeah, it's a scare tactic, in my opinion, because when you look up butter, it's got fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K. It's pretty good for you. And same with grass-fed ghee. Ghee is a clarified butter if you're so it strips out the lactose. Very, very high smoke point. Very good to cook with. Everything tastes like butter. It's absolutely delicious. You can also use organic avocado oil. You can also use, some people cook with extra virgin olive oil. I would just not recommend it because it kind of has a weird smell after you cook it for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think that's...
I've also heard some olive oils have seed oils in them.
A lot of them do.
Yeah, so I buy from Brian Johnson now.
That's good.
Yeah,
his is very, very good quality.
Yeah.
You can also cook with tallow, like any animal fats. Animal fats have the highest smoke point. They work the best to cook with, like tallow, chicken fat if you can get like pasture-raised chicken fat.
There's people putting tallow on their face now too.
Tallow is very good because it's all the fat soluble vitamins are really good for your skin. So they have like tallow bombs, which are grass fed, and you could put on your face. As weird as that sounds, it's so good for your skin.
Really,
so
I'd rather use that than sunscreen. So
sunscreen has crazy ingredients inside as well. But then it gets crazy because you start reading what's in your. You know, most of your clothes are made of plastics.
Right.
Like most
polyester,
people don't polyester, nylon, and all of that. And what's weird about those is when you wear too much of that, it can energetically close off the circulation of wherever it is in your body.
Whoa.
So, for example, if you're wearing non-organic cotton underwear, that can actually decrease your testosterone.
Jeez.
Which is really crazy because you're wearing polyester most underwears are made with polyester.
Yeah.
And there's actually a big movement now of very clean, organic, good companies that are using organic hemp, organic bamboo, organic cotton. And I see that coming onto a rise now because Lululemon's all plastics. There's a company called Allwear, and they use organic hemp, organic bamboo, and it looks just like Lululemon. But they use very high quality, high vibrational clothing, and that's you want to care about that as well. What kind of shampoo you're using, what kind of soap you're using.
Right.
There's crazy stuff in everything.
It is nuts, dude. I switched to bamboo underwear, and I try to buy linen clothing or organic cotton.
Even bamboo underwear, you got to be careful because sometimes they can if they don't say 100% organic bamboo,
Ooh,
see,
I gotta look.
because I had bamboo underwear as well.
I bought it off Amazon. I gotta check.
So did
if
I.
It was, oh, so it might be the same one.
Another good company that has really good organic underwear is Organic Jaguar. It's actually
Organic
good.
Jaguar.
He's a good. His name's Austin. He's a very good friend of mine.
It's
and
Cyber Monday today, so I might go hard tonight.
he's very. His stuff is very good. It has a very good logo too. Organic Jaguar. They look kind of like the Ralph Laurens, but they're nice. They're very nice.
Okay.
So
Nice.
100% cotton underwear, and it just you notice the difference when you start changing your underwear.
Yeah.
You start feeling really good because all your energy production comes from your testicles. So.
Dude, it's nuts because these women with these yoga leggings and they go to yoga class and they're sweating.
And they're sweating and your pores open and all the plastics, the microplastics, because your skin absorbs everything.
Yeah, and then you see these fertility issues.
Mhm.
Like, wow, it might be from the clothing too.
No one thinks about it.
Crazy.
That's why this is so important to get people aware of. That's all I want to do, basically, just have people think, just question things.
Right.
Because I'll show you the information, we'll talk about it, but it should be enough information for you to go research on your own. Oh, is this true? Like, is polyester underwear really messing with my fertility and stuff like that? And when you start learning about it, like, wow, it makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's needed, man. Average lifespan of a male in the U.S. is 71 right now. It dropped 3 years in the past year.
It's going to keep dropping if people don't make these changes.
Yeah, 71, dude. That's young, in my opinion.
Dude, obesity rates are so high. Everything is just, sicknesses are rising. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's not a good future at the current rate. But hopefully we could turn a new leaf here.
I mean, just you having this podcast is such a big deal because it's showing more exposure, more awareness on these, and the fact that you are very interested in health, which is amazing.
I mean, you have to be.
You have to.
These days. You can't just assume you're healthy if you're young. My results were so bad in my 20s.
But go ahead.
No, I was just saying I had so many deficiencies. My testosterone was low and I was mentally not good. So just because you're young doesn't mean you're healthy.
Yeah, and thank God you went through that because it made you who you are today. Yeah, that's how it's positive thinking. You know, everything that happens to you in life happens for you
Right.
to learn and to grow and to evolve. And when you take care of your health, there's a lot of people that are very, very rich and successful, but they don't have their health.
Yeah.
What's the point of having the blessings of life if you're not healthy enough to appreciate and enjoy them?
Absolutely. No amount of money will change poor health. Like if you're not willing to get your health right. I wouldn't want like health span versus lifespan. You know what I mean? You want those two numbers to be as close as possible.
Absolutely.
Who cares about living to 100 if you're unhealthy?
No.
That's not a way to live life. I want to be playing with my grandkids. All my memories of my grandparents were like they could barely walk. I don't want that to be what my grandkids think of me.
Oh, same with my grandparents. So
Yeah, like all my memories were like a wheelchair, or like they could barely give me a hug.
and you assumed that when you get old, that would happen to
Exactly.
you. You know, that it's also your mindset and your beliefs. If you believe that you're going to age faster, if you believe that you're going to die when you're a certain age because your parents or your grandparents did, your cells listen to you. So negative thinking attracts negative outcomes.
Yep.
Positive thinking attracts positive outcomes.
That's why I try not to play victim mindset with genetics too much, because I know obviously that's a role, but you could still have a lot of influence, in my opinion.
That's why the victim mindset, the accountability thing is so important. But once you start doing it and start getting over that shame of being wrong, you start appreciating it because every time you're wrong, if you're smart enough, you learn.
I love that. Yeah, it takes a certain level of intelligence to get there, though.
But it's so rewarding.
Yeah,
I'd rather be a student than a teacher any day.
right. And a lot of people are scared to admit they're wrong on social media. So they'll have these hot takes and then they'll never address like that they might have been wrong at the time.
Yeah, but I think being wrong is a part of life. You know, sometimes when you watch my videos, I show where I make mistakes and I laugh about it and I just show it because I'm a real human.
That's cool.
You know,
that you're willing to admit that.
of course, perfection's not. It's more of an illusion. You know, but I believe the road to perfection is what makes you great.
Yeah.
Not being at perfection, because you can never be 100% like, oh, I'm good now. I don't have to learn anything else.
And you're in a tough space to navigate because there's so many conflicting studies.
Yeah.
There's something for everything and against. You kind of got to really do your own research.
That's why with my content, I always think to myself, what can I expose to the masses, which is relatable to everybody, show the details of why it's bad, but also at the same time, I was going to stop there, but at the end of my videos, I always show you the positive substitute. And because I believe that if you're going to identify a problem, you got to come up with a solution.
Smart.
Yeah. And my videos are always shorter than 60 seconds because people don't have the attention span.
TikTok brain, yeah.
understandable, So I go very fast with it, and I'm like, listen, just you can like the plastic water, for example. Instead, glass
Good old
water,
glass, yeah.
Mountain Valley spring water.
Yeah.
So
You do a great job at that. Same with Dr. Pampa.
Dr. Pampa's great.
Yeah, he's coming on soon again, and he's phenomenal.
Yeah.
He'll be like, this dish detergent is terrible for you. Here's 2 alternatives. DM me this word, and I'll send you the link.
Yep.
It's flawless.
He
He probably sells so many products that way.
It's good though.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if it's his products.
I don't think it is.
No,
but
I
he
think
probably
he's just
gets like
helping.
a commission or
Yeah.
something.
But
But either way,
I mean, it's good because he's helping so many people. Your dish soap is toxic. Like what?
that was the last thing I was thinking about, the laundry and the dish soap.
Oh, what's crazy is when you go to an Airbnb or you're traveling, what do they have available at the Airbnb? Like, what pans do they have, and what's Teflon in your pans? What does it mean when it's nonstick? You start reading, it's like, oh, there's forever chemicals in this. So it's challenging.
Wow.
I
didn't even think about that. And then if you order food, it's in the plastic containers.
that's heated up, or sometimes you get it in the styrofoam.
Right.
Styrofoam's horrible for you. Like, it's very crazy.
Yeah.
Coffee. Get coffee in those paper cups.
Pods. Oh, the paper cups.
How are those paper cups? How is the liquid not leaking through? Because actually, Bobby from Flav City made a video showing this. There's plastic lining.
No way. So in the Starbucks cups?
The Starbucks cups have plastic lining,
And
and that's how it doesn't leak through.
there's hot liquid going in that.
Yeah.
So it's obviously leaching into the drink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my.
And then when you get coffee as well, and they use the filters, they're using the bleached filters, right? Those white filters that,
So people can't even drink coffee.
you got to make it yourself.
You got to make it yourself.
And
People are too lazy. And even if you make it yourself, there's a mold potential.
Well, yeah, and also Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, you're not getting the highest quality coffee beans.
Yeah.
You're probably getting some from all over the world, which means that there's a higher chance of mold, especially because of large corporations.
I cut back on coffee. I had some heart palpitation issues from it.
You have to ask yourself, are you getting it because of the caffeine, or are you getting it because you had a low quality coffee?
Right. Yeah. I don't know, actually.
It's very interesting. That's why you have to research and know what you're putting in your body. So, like, for example, the plastic cup thing, like, what are you going to do? You can get compostable non-plastic cups that are made with bamboo on Amazon. You can literally find these substitutes for everything. Your toilet paper's got bleach on it. That's nasty. You can get a company called Cloud Paper, which uses
I use Balu. I think it's bamboo. Balu toilet paper. It's like light green.
I'd have to
It might be. I thought it was bamboo, but I'm not sure.
But it's good that you made the change.
I had to. And that was another thing I never even thought about. Toilet paper. Like, why is that bad for you?
Bleach in your butthole? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Crazy. And probably paper towels too, if I looked into it.
Paper towels as well.
Oh my
That's why your
gosh.
fingers feel weird after you hold on to those for a while. Oh, receipts.
Oh,
Receipts
I knew about that one, yeah.
I didn't know about that. That one was great. And loofahs. Loofahs that you use to clean your...
I never used those, but...
I did recently, and I had someone tell me that's all plastic.
What?
So
On the
even
loofah?
Yeah, even I make
Even you're
mistakes.
getting punked.
Yeah, I got punked. And I was like, oh, wow. I thought I was on point with it because I'd be rubbing
Yeah,
myself
yeah.
with this plastic thing.
Do you travel with a shower filter?
Yeah,
You
I
have to,
actually
right?
do. Organic Jaguar makes a really, really good one.
I mean, the tap water is so bad.
My Airbnb right now, I put a filter.
I mean, I don't blame you.
Dude, it's crazy when you look up what's in the water. They got prescription pills in there. You got like birth control, which people pee out,
Yep.
and it goes back in the tap water. It is so crazy when you look up what's in your water.
It's disgusting, and you're bathing in it. I stopped taking baths.
I've heard.
I used to love baths.
Me too.
Like, one of my favorite memories, honestly, was taking a warm bath at late night,
How about when you go to a hot tub or you go to a pool and you smell the chlorine?
Yep.
All that chlorine, right? That's definitely not good for your
No,
skin.
I stopped going to public pools, no hot tubs anymore, unless it's mine.
You can go to a mineral spa where they do use mineral water.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
think that's in Colorado in certain areas in the world, but most of them are just going to be chlorine based. And
Disgusting.
dude,
Yeah, it's tough, man.
and people get so sick of hearing this because they're like, "Oh, you're saying everything's toxic." It's like, dude, don't get mad at me.
Yeah.
I didn't put this stuff in there.
It's how far you want to personally take it.
Yeah.
We're just giving you the information. How much do you want to actually listen?
I try to make it so easy to understand so you could just be like, all right, you know what? I don't want to feel stupid that I made that mistake. I just would rather make the change,
Yeah. Yeah, like I know all this stuff, and sometimes I'll cheat, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not living by the book 24/7.
And I believe your body can handle it sometimes. Like if you really are in a pinch and you have to eat at a restaurant that uses some seed oils, I think you'll live. I actually think it gives your immune system something to do at times, you know, so it's good to like fight off some stuff every once in a while.
Yeah, because you saw during COVID, everyone's immune system was shot. So as soon as they left, they got sick.
I actually saw so many people's health plummet during that time, especially because people were in such a fear mindset. Fear mindset is one of the lowest mindsets to be in.
Frequency-wise, yeah.
Absolutely. That's why people get so sick. And the most sick people are usually the most fearful.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Very strange.
Now that I'm thinking about it, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have anxiety.
Anxiety and fear, it's always never in the present moment, you know, like not to get all spiritual with it, but if you really start, when you fix your brain, you start realizing this stuff. Your past is gone and your future you'll never know. So you might as well just be in this moment.
Right.
You know? And if you're going to be in this moment and you don't know what's to come tomorrow, like think of your success, think of everything you've accomplished. Did you know it would be exactly like this? No.
Hell no.
No. You're on a journey. Everything happens for you. So live today, be happy, and be grateful because you attract more. Gratitude is one of the highest frequencies, and when you match that frequency, it's really true. You start attracting more reasons to be grateful.
Yep.
This whole experience itself was such a blessing. It was so unexpected, and I really, really appreciate it.
Well, you attracted it, man, with your content. You know what I mean? That's what made me hit you up.
I appreciate you so much. I genuinely do. It means like the world to me.
Likewise, dude. Yeah, gratitude's important. I didn't know how spiritual you were, too. That's cool to see.
Thank you.
Are you big on like psychedelics and stuff? Yeah.
I've done psychedelics so many times. There was a point where my parents were actually really concerned for me because they've never heard of some. I started doing that when I went keto and my brain started working. I'm a really big cannabis user.
Yep.
So shrooms started. I believe shrooms called me and I answered the phone because once you take these psychedelics, my brain opened up to understanding how the world is.
Wow.
So when that happened, I was like, okay. And then I started researching it, and it was the coolest thing about it was the fact that no matter if you have a bad trip or a good trip, you come out a better person. And that always stuck with me. And the neurogenesis, which is the development of the birth of new brain neurons. So you're getting smarter when you did it. So I would do 1.5 grams once a week or once or twice a week, once or twice every once or 2 weeks, I believe. And I've had some of the most amazing experiences from it because I just started learning more awareness, more things I could improve on, more things I could become better. So yeah, the spirituality aspect, I actually did a heroic dose one time, which was 7 grams.
Jeez.
And that made me see how we're all connected, we're all one. And it showed me that life happens for you.
I love that. 7 grams, they call that an ego death, right?
Oh, I think every day we're shattering our egos more and more, you
Yeah.
know? And it's the most beautiful thing ever because you start realizing that instead of thinking just for yourself, you can start thinking collectively. And I believe like your cells work collectively, right? To power you. We should be doing that too with the organism of the earth because the earth is a living being, of course, because soil, things grow from the earth, everything.
Yeah.
So we are like the cells on the earth. So the more that we take care of ourselves, we start impacting others, we start becoming better all around, and whole world changes.
Yeah, shrooms changed my life too.
When
I've
did you
done 3.5 grams probably 3 or 4 times.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and each trip was profound, new ideas, getting rid of mental health issues every time.
Yeah, because you start to see the bigger picture of your mental issues. Because when you're in them, you're so narrow-minded. But shrooms allows you to see it from a bigger perspective, and you're like, oh, why was I worrying about something that I have no control over?
Yep. And now I microdose them, and it's phenomenal. I'm so productive.
Dude,
Anytime I have a friend dealing with like big ego issues, because that happens when you have success or whatever, I tell them to go take some shrooms.
Dude, I'm so grateful because the success for me came after learning this. So I actually learned all these lessons when I was broke.
Wow.
Being broke was one of the greatest times of my life because it taught me how to be more kind. It taught me how to be giving. I was giving when I had no money. And before that with corporate, I was cheap because corporate mindset, you know, like
right. Scarcity, right?
Scarcity mindset. But with the broke mentality, when I was broke, I was a giving person. So I was like, because if I was wealthy, I would be extremely giving. So little by little, just being a giving and good person attracted success.
Absolutely.
And I'm very thankful the way it happened.
I love it, man. Well, what are you working on next, and where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, at I'm Just Wasim. I am JUSTWASIM. I'm actually starting, well, my YouTube channel is all just YouTube shorts at the moment of my content, but now I'll be doing long form content very, very soon. It'll probably be all 2025. Also, as well as going to more podcasts, spreading more of this knowledge, because it's not only about food, it's all just universally collective. It's just basically being a good person and feeding your body well and choosing the right decisions, choosing to be a good person, eating the right foods, living a good life, and just being happy. So yeah, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube's the biggest thing that I'm working on.
Love it.
For
We'll link below. Thanks for coming on, man. That was a
Thank
blast.
you, Sean.
Yep.
Appreciate you.
Thanks for watching, guys. Check out his stuff below. See you next time.
Appreciate all of you.